I've dropped this so many times, it doesn't want to open. But it still takes great pictures. Other than that, it's 100%. So this is how I get action shots of myself doing stuff with a Ricoh or other little camera. Works pretty cool, especially when you're by yourself. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that is the river. I recently did some fly fishing photos of myself, yeah, so selfies, with the Ricoh GR. And a friend asked me how I did it. So I figured, what the heck, I'll do a little tutorial here and show you how I did it. It's pretty simple, but it works great. I've used it on many occasions. And anyway, it's the perfect travel camera. 28mm too. It's the perfect focal length, I think. And I love this thing. It's getting a little beaten up. It's the first gen. I'm not worried about dumping it in the river. It's happened before. And so yeah, it's going in my bag. It goes in all my bags. It's with me wherever I go. Okay, so let's go over the long list of stuff you're going to need to take. Actually, you don't need anything. I take most of my shots with the Ricoh sitting on a rock. But what you will need is a digital camera that will take time-lapse photos and will not process them in camera. It'll take a bunch of stills. That's what you want. This could come in handy. It's nice and light, cheap as dirt, works well, no problems. This guy too, it's an old an old Manfrotto, cheap again, but it's lightweight, and the cameras we're using are lightweight, so you don't need a heavy-duty tripod. And it packs pretty small, and that'll go up to about 4.5 feet. This thing's been great. I've dunked it in water. It's been soaked, and it just keeps on going. So another good product for sure for the money. And in my neck of the woods, I need some of that. Anyway, so the plan is to get this long fly line that I'm casting. I want to be able to stop that and have the loop in the shot if possible. And it's just a quick, simple way of doing it, but it works. And it's pretty awesome, especially when you're by yourself, or if your camera doesn't have a crazy fast frame rate. I'll go through it more with you when we're done the video here, because it's too loud at the river. You're just not going to be able to hear me. Anyway, stay tuned. These are wild roses. So what I did was I went into interval shooting, which is also known as time-lapse. And Ricoh, it looks like this in the Ricoh. This is the Gen 1. The Gen 2 is exactly the same. I think the Gen 3 is as well. In the top settings, scroll down to interval shooting. And basically what I had set on today, I set it on to 2 seconds. I didn't have a lot of time out there, to tell you the truth, and the light, it was kind of backlit, crappy, but I wanted to show you how I did these shots we're talking about. I set it to take a shot every 2 seconds. You can set it to 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You can set it to take a shot every 1 second, and it'll just crank them out. So depending on what you're doing, you can set that however you want. Over here, I set it to like 20 pics or 10 pics, I can't remember. You can also set this to whatever you want as well. You go right up to infinity and just let it crank it out. Or if you don't want it to burn out, just set it to 20 shots if you figure you're going to get them in 20 or 10 or whatever. The only thing you got to remember is you want to make sure you have a fast enough shutter speed to stop the action. I kind of screwed it up tonight. Again, I didn't have much time, and I could have, you know, sped up that shutter speed to stop that line. You'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. Also, what I do here, I set this to manual focus, and I set it to infinity, and I like to shoot around at f8 to make sure that everything is in focus and sharp. So that's what I did there. I didn't obviously shoot in autofocus because it would be hunting the whole time, or it might miss stuff. So again, this is 28mm, so the depth of field is awesome. You can, you know, set it to infinity and pretty much everything is going to be in focus, especially at f8 or f11 is even better. So that's usually what I do, pretty simple. And then I just hit the go button. Let's see, I'll show you. I'll just hit the go button and I'll take 10 shots. You hit it and it just starts cranking them out. So that's all that happened there, and I'll show you those photos that I was talking about. So here are a couple of the shots that I took that my friend asked me how I did that by myself especially, and now you know. They turned out pretty cool. I got a whole bunch of them, but here's two of them. It was great light. I had great fast shutter speed, no issues, and everything stopped. The fly line stopped there right in action, flying through the air, and they turned out pretty cool. And here are the ones we took tonight. They weren't great. I could have shot, you know, a faster shutter speed, but they're still usable. And again, it was just a fun tutorial, show you how I do this stuff. Also, I'm not lugging around a SLR up into the mountains or anywhere else. So the Ricoh does what I want it to do perfectly. So any kind of small digital camera that will give you time lapse should work. Also, you know, you could go in movie mode with your digital camera. The problem is the files are usually pretty tiny, so you're not getting, you know, a 16 megapixel or more photo out of that. If it's, especially if you're just shooting 1080, it's going to be a tiny file. So this is way better, I think, anyway, and it does the job. It does it great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little tutorial, and I hope you use it on your next outing. Thanks for watching.